Hey Taurus, welcome to your September reading. I'm using a Forest Oracle deck, which I have not used before. I actually forgot I had it. And I found it today when I was going through because I packed all my things away and I was having to get them out the box and I found them. And yeah, like I'm going to work with these for sure. So I haven't looked at them until I've started doing these readings, so it's all intuitive with what the cards say to me, which I mean, that's my method and that's what I love anyways. So yeah, these readings seem to be coming out differently as well. As you know, if you follow me, I go with what kind of comes to me in the moment, what feels right. And yeah, I did Capricorn first this time, and now you guys. And it's kind of coming out very interestingly. So we have kind of these keywords, key cards at the top, which I do normally do. And then with the tarot cards, it's kind of like two columns is what it called out for me to do. And it's kind of like where you're at and where you need to be. The need to be is kind of very much desire orientated as well. At least it was for Capricorns. Let's see what it's like for you guys. Okay, interesting. Definitely a desire there. I love doing you guys because it's my sign as well. I'm a Taurus, so it's like a little bit of good insight. Interesting that in the exact same spot as it was in Capricorn, which does happen with the earth signs and whatever signs, they kind of do have similarities, but it's the opposite way, so interesting. And also that card as well came in the same column, so interesting similarities here. Okay, so we're starting off, and these are all new cards. I haven't had these ones out yet, even in the Capricorn reading. Oh, I'm loving this. Toadstools, growth. This is definitely a period of time for growth. And Taurus, I feel like I can definitely say that this year has been all about growing, I guess, and self-discovery. And this is really showing what I'm drawn to is our headwear, and I'll show you the lighting is really terrible, I'm sorry. I haven't had time, so much going on, I haven't had time to actually change my background or anything. I feel like it's time for a change, but maybe for October, we'll see. Okay, so I'm really drawn to the headwear. It's giving me kind of, I feel like you've grown so much. However, you're still wearing like fragments of the past on you. It's kind of like these are things that you're trying to shed off of you, but it's like they're still attached in the present time. That's what it's giving me. Because it really feels, and even on her skin, there's like this pattern, this floral pattern, and it looks like lace, but I feel like they're the imprints we're supposed to be bringing with us. It's like tattooed onto our skin. But this headwear, it's getting heavy. It's kind of bringing forward still a lot of that heaviness that you've been carrying for quite some time. This is what I'm feeling here. And I want to say I feel like it's, as much as it's helped you to grow and gain this growth, I feel like this is what you're kind of trying to grow beyond, if that makes sense. Because it definitely feels as though it can be taken off, but you're choosing to wear it, is what I want to say actually. And also I kind of get from this, so I'm noticing, I'm being drawn to, because I'm really taking in the whole card. I haven't seen these cards before, so I'm like, I love them. It's the toadstools at the front. Now, toadstools are fungi, and I feel like we've grown something beautiful out of something. Like they grow in dark conditions, they grow in, in the most weirdest places sometimes, but there's a purpose to it. There's a reason why they've been able to grow in that moment in that place, and I feel like that's what you've done, is grown something from the darkness, is what I'm getting here. And it feels like something coming in, but it also is giving me this, again, that dual kind of thought of still needing to change things. Something needs to still shift and be let go of, because again, it's growing things from a darkness. Like that's a great thing, However, like, I'm just getting that darkness still being there. I'm definitely getting something still attached that needs to be shifted and grown. Which definitely is a vibe for September. I've just done, like I said, Capricorn, and I feel like there's now things that is, like, September's theme to me already is feeling very much putting in that work to kind of continue. Again, 2022 is about just being this year of change and shifting and transforming, and September to me feels very much action-based, of getting that work that you've done so far into a more productive way. So that's what this is giving me for you. So let's have a look. We have 8 of Pentacles in reverse. So you're definitely creating something, but I feel like even though you're trying to create something, with this 8 of Pentacles, I feel like it's like there's not a direction. You're like kind of, I'm gonna say it like this so I can get my words out. It's like pouring in things like formulas into something to try and create something, but there's no kind of actual formula to it. There's no substance to it. So even though you're trying to create something, you haven't got the right tools or the right something that makes it actually come into fruition. So I feel like this is where we are at the moment. It's like the efforts are there, you are trying and you are changing things and shifting things. And this is where the growth is in that. It's like you're trying to shape and shift, but something isn't what you need. You haven't got that thing you need to move forward. And this is where we're stuck in at the moment. I'm getting this sense of stuck because it feels like this just ingredients in life that you're needing during this time. And that's where we're at. It's like you're not creating, you're not able to create this abundance, this next step, this creation, bringing something into creation really, because something is missing. There's like a key ingredient or some ingredients that's not quite the right ingredients. But again, it's like an aimless. I feel like because you don't have that key ingredient, perhaps you know what it is, perhaps you know what's missing, perhaps it's not in your control, but you're trying. This is the key point, is that you are putting in the efforts, you are doing all that you can with what you have. And that is amazing. So I feel like you need to hold on to that and be like, you're doing your best. Loving it. And where you desire to be, where this is what the reason why you're doing this, it's because this is what you're after. Your 2 of Cups. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Okay. So if I sneeze in about 5 minutes, because this is like the pre-warning. 2 of Cups. So I feel like what you're aiming for is contentment. Now, 2 of Cups typically can mean like oppositions. It's like it's the opposite of what you have now. Like if this was a relationship reading, it would be like, there's someone out there who is your exact opposite. They're great for you. Not getting that here for you. Like it doesn't feel relationship vibey. This feels like what you're desiring, where you're heading to, is that kind of the opposite of what you've been having, I suppose. It's like you're trying to create something different from where you have been, from where you've, like, this is it. It's the change. It's that shift of energy, of flipping. And it feels like yin and yang, because it just feels like a total opposition here, of switching from where you've been to where you're going. This feels like the desire here. And again, I definitely get the sense of like you are putting in the work. This is your growth. This is your journey. You are building towards this. That's very much how that feels. And actually that is probably how I read the Capricorn reading as well in that first column. It's like this is where you are heading, this is where you want to be at. Loving. Okay, so the second column we have Stag Spirit, Leadership. Oh, I'm loving this. So I definitely get this being a drive. Like you are driving your something into creation for yourself right now. And it definitely feels as though like, I feel like you should listen to yourself and your own desires and your own drives during this time. This is what it's giving me. It's like be that leader that you are, like activate in this kind of leadership within yourself. And I think that comes with as well is it's like not being stubborn, not being stuck. It's like being a leader sometimes is making the best choices for you and the people around you, and that's what this card is giving me. It's being that wisdom into creating something is what I would say here. And as I'm showing it for you, like this, I mean, you're probably seeing exactly what I see when I look at the card, but as I'm showing this in, what's drawn to me, I feel like there is, like, this feels like a male figure, which is his nose onwards, and there's like a female figure here. To me, this is like a couple, a contentment, and I feel like this represents parts of you coming together, actually. So take that as you will, but it's what's kind of shining through there. So this could be, again, if there's relationship vibes within you, a coming together of two souls, a couple. It doesn't have to mean, you know, you're male, you're female, or what you're attracting. It's just a coming together of kind of two oppositions to create something, which again is what the Two of Cups means as well. So it could be that, you know, coming together of two ideas coming into something that's equal and whole. And again, that yin and yang cycle is the exact same thing. It's two oppositions that when they come together, they make that perfect circle. Two ideas coming together, creating something. And again, you are creating something. Something's being formed for you now. You're the leader in this. You're owning it. You're creating something. And I wanted to say just that, creating something from nothing. Interesting. So yeah, good stuff. Next card is Ten of Swords in reverse. Okay, so Ten of Swords upright is generally a great card to have. It's, people go, oh no, Ten of Swords, like, because it can mean bad things. It's like, you know, everything being heavy and coming to a final. But that's the good side of the Ten of Swords. It's like, you know, you're coming to the end of something. This being in reverse, I feel like you have moved past the hardest times. You are on the better side of this. And I feel like you, again, this is what you're holding on to. But it doesn't feel as though it's negatively impacting you when I'm seeing this. And I feel like this is why the card to me seems like it has a very positive spin. So as much as I feel like you are holding on to the hard times, as in that's what's driving you, I feel like that's what's pushing you forward. It's because I'm seeing the hard ahead, but not as in you've got hard times ahead. Yes, you might have, but what I'm saying is I feel like your hardest times is what's driving you, and you've been through them recently, and this is what's pushing you. This is where you're at right now, right? This is the column of where we're at. And that's what's pushing you forward. There is a raven here. I really relate to the raven. I went for a walk yesterday for about 4 or 5 hours. I just walked. I'm absolutely aching so much now in the hip area, my lower back, from so much walking, and I have so many blisters. Different story anyway. But on this journey, I saw, like, there was something in the distance, and I was thinking, oh, like, it was on a hill at the top, and it was moving on the ground, and I was thinking, is that a snake? And I was like, no, it looks like it's too high up. I was like, maybe it's a lizard, maybe it's and as I was getting closer, I was like, that's a bird. I was like, that's my ravens. And as I got closer, it was, and it was just crawling on the ground, and then as I came up closer, it obviously flew into the trees, but it kept following me and flowing through. Now, like, to me, I see ravens as a very good sign, and different cultures have different meanings for ravens. But, you know, I see them as a great sign. They are messengers from gods. They are basically kind of a way of showing you that there is divine wisdom with you right now, that you are on the right path. They can indicate that certain gods are supporting you. If you work with any gods, goddesses, that kind of thing, it's a very great sign, in my opinion. Right? Listen to the signs. Now it's coming from this card. So the point of me telling you that is that this is what I'm seeing for you, Taurus, is that message, that sign that I got. I feel like this is universal for us during this time, that we are on the right path, that we are full of wisdom. We are being guided to do what we do for the reasons we do it, for a purpose, is what I want to say. Now the final card that in this column, so this is the desire, this is where we want to be, this is where we're heading, right? This is what this column represents. We have the Lovers, and again, both, you have the Two of Cups and the Lovers literally next to each other. I definitely feel like our heart's desire is towards love. Now, as a Taurus, I feel like that is the purpose and intention of our being. It's centered around love, around the heart chakra. So this can mean anything for you in terms of that, what love means to you, of how it will fill your life. So this could be relationships, this could be family, this could be, you know, your aspirations, whatever your heart desires. I feel like this is what this is representing. This is what you're creating for yourself during this time. So I definitely feel like if love is in there, I'm going to mention this one first because it's what comes through now that I have these two cards together. I feel like, you know, that is something ahead of you. If you are with someone now, I feel like this is only going to get stronger. It's like a union coming together. Now we have the cats in here that are also together, and then the two witches. Now to me, the cats are below, and that this is like, I want to say these feel like this is what could be. This is the desire, the kind of coming together of ideas, the wisdom side of things. So again, I will put it in terms of relationship. It's kind of like it's something that works, that brings in that unity. I definitely have this sense of yin yang oppositions. So this could be, if it's relationship, someone who's opposite to you, somebody who sees things differently, or perhaps gets you seeing things differently actually as well. But this seems as in possibilities. This is not what is, it's what will be, what might be. Possibilities. What is this strength. I feel like, again, this can be applied not just relationship, because I feel like this is the how this card needs to be read. It's like two things coming together, really solid. So again, relationship wise, this is long term. For any otherwise, I feel like, again, yes, long term, but as in it's creating something more solid, more unite, more yin yang coming together, create something whole, rather than something separate, something different from yourself. And I feel like this is you putting your all into something actually. And I feel like this is the guidance for you so far, is to keep going, keep trying. Even if you don't have that key ingredient, you are working towards something and it's there for you. Keep going, keep using that. I do, again, we are carrying things forward with us from the past that needs to be shifted and everything, but I feel like you know where you're at with that and why you're holding on to it and why you might need to. But it's about being aware that it is there, and that is something that you need to work on moving forward. But it doesn't feel like it's hindering you. It's just there. It's just saying, hey, I'm here. Okay? Standing Stones passage. I'm loving that. And this is what I'm getting from it as well, what I just said. The standing stones to me are representing things that are solid foundations that you have built over your lifetime, that have got you to where you are now. I feel like you're coming into this place where you can pass through that and see that kind of wisdom of what you have built for yourself and where you're going. It does feel dreamy ahead, so I feel like your goals and aspirations are ahead of in reach. But again, I do feel like you're heading towards this. It's not like you're there. There are more things that need to be put into place. But what will help you is those past things that are solid, the things that are that you can think on, that are kind of, grounding, that have come through you, that give you that kind of strength with you, not the things that have offered you problems, that have offered you kind of heavy emotions is what I want to say, because I feel like the heavy emotion aspect of things is the things that we have to let go of. They're things that are affect us, that need forgiveness, that need letting go of. These solid things, which are the good things that we can take from those experiences, they are what will lead you towards your goals and aspirations. That's what I get from this. And it's a rite of passage, so I do feel, again, this is part of your journey, which is why I say there's things on you that need to be let go of, but you're holding them right now for a reason. So I do feel like, even though that it's being there saying, hey, you've got these things, you know that now is not the time, but this is a process that you're going through, that like it is the time, but you're going through the process of working with that. So your length of time is going to be unique to you, Taurus. I feel like this is not all Tauruses need to let go now, all Tauruses need to let go in December. This is me telling you that you know your time length and what's going to work for you. Loving it. Okay, Seven of Swords. This is upright for you. So I do feel like there are aspects of your reality that do need to be let go of, in the sense of they are not in your best interest. I feel like there are potentially people that are thinking only of themselves. Like, this card represents liars, cheaters, stealers, right? So these are people that could be taking your energy. These are people that could be just doing things in their own interest that's not in your best interest. This to me is what I got in the beginning, is like letting go of something, like very real, of that being something that might be that missing ingredient, that's stopping you from having that ingredient, because you are attached to it, when perhaps you should be acknowledging for what it is, and using that to get to that next step, to that missing ingredient. And because I kind of get this sense as well of if it's stalking you, if it's staying with you, it's like it won't allow you to because I'll show you the imagery of what I'm seeing, so as I explain this it may make more sense to you. So look, she's carrying her swords with us. She is basically a thief in this palace, right? There's a little cat to me, I'm seeing this cat as something that shouldn't be following you, but it is. I feel like it needs to leave you alone as much as this feels. And I feel like it's because it's, again, this window, it feels as though it's causing you emotional trauma is what I want to say with that window. But here I feel like, look, you've got all these goodies, but what you're taking with you, what you're stealing from this experience, sorry, my cats are now jumping up around the camera, hopefully they don't knock you. What you're taking from this experience are the tools, which is great. However, there's also something greater that you could be gaining from this experience, that you could be bringing with you, but you're choosing only to take you and your tools, right? You're choosing to only have with you. And I feel like it's because, again, you are being very compassionate. Sorry, they are turning my camera. Cats, kitty cats. And they're also in the light, so you'll probably get shadows all over me. But yeah, I feel like they're stealing something from you that, again, a missing ingredient. I feel like there's something that's the missing ingredient and to be able to create your things, and you're allowing somebody else to take that ingredient away or just get in the way of that progress. Interesting. Where you desire to be, where you want to be, and where you are heading, that kind of vibe. Okay, so we have the Hermit card. So I feel like this is generally us anyway. The Hermit represents it, like, that's how I feel like I am represented. This is about going within. Then is knowledge within you that you can use. And I feel like, actually, as I say that, what's coming through me is more like, you know what you need to do or what you should be doing. Sorry, there is an oracle like in the way of the camera. Oracle, come here. My little oracle. He doesn't like people much at the moment. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, so I feel like you know everything. I feel like it's more as in, you know what you should be doing or what should be done. However, there's just something in the way here. And I feel like this is you needing to take that moment to go within, to really realize your truth, where you need to be at. But and again, this is in the column of that standing stone. So I feel like this is a journey that you are going on for a reason. And it will take as long as it takes for you to come to whatever you need to come to. Which is interesting. I'm definitely getting, I just feel like for some of you this will click and you'll own it because you're in that leadership energy. And for some of you, I feel like you will take the stance of this being, you know, the leader is doing what you need to do, what's best for everybody as well, and that being part of this journey. So apply that to you in your own situation as you need. Oracle. It's because there's birds out the window. The next one, we have Guardians of the Land, Protection. And again, this really, as soon as I just saw this, no, the light's terrible in here now, the cats are in the window. I feel like this is you. It's like you are trying to protect everybody. You're trying to protect people around you. And this is part of your journey of being that kind of, again, wise one within your journey, within your life, within your situations. No, I'm terribly sorry. The lighting is not going to show you what I see. But for some reason it's focusing on this. Let's have a look what I get from that. Okay, so it's giving me eagle. There's not an eagle in this card. I saw an eagle on my walk as well. Taurus, it's not coming through here. I saw an eagle. An eagle can represent new beginnings. Look into the symbology of it because I'm going to very loosely quote as I always do. But it's new beginnings and kind of great things ahead of you. And this is what I feel like here is like, because of the person that you are, of how you feel things, of how you process things, this is really what's helping those around you. Now I need you to realize as well though that you are a key part of your journey, because helping other people is something that comes naturally to you, is what I'm feeling here with this holding on to things, this kind of putting other people first, and now being the guardians of land. You're always protecting people around you even when they are not warranted of it, or even wanting it. I feel like you still put it upon yourself to be that person. It's like you are this stag. And interestingly enough, I did see a stag at the garden centre when I had lunch on Wednesday. So all these things are coming through, all these symbols that have been in my life, like literally this week, that I've been seeing all over the place, are coming through in this reading. So that is very positive. I'm going to look into the symbology of a stag and also an eagle, and I'm going to comment that below on this video if I remember. If I don't, please comment below to remind me, and I will put that in the description, because I feel like I need to do that for us. There's also like a little thing on the side. Now I have, again, I'm seeing all this symbology from my life, and there's a little sort of thing here. This to me could be a cow skull. Now I have a cow skull in my tree, in my garden. If you follow me on Instagram, that you've probably seen a picture on there. Links are all below if you don't and you wish to. That's giving me that as well. So I'm getting this very strong bull energy. I saw a bull on my walk as well, and I instantly was like, hey, I'm a bull too, to this cow. I'm that kind of person. And it's just all coming through here, all these connecting. So I'm going to try and put symbology of all these things that I'm seeing, even perhaps the raven, just in our description below, so we can really see the bigger picture for ourselves, because that's really coming through, and I need to know what that means for me more as well. We have the toadstools in here, and again, I feel like, again, this is your strength. You being this guardian of the land, the protector, I feel like this can help indicate your purpose as well for some of you. Missing ingredient is coming through. I'm going to title this missing ingredient because we have a missing ingredient, and I feel like it's something that's within us, that it's so obvious, and yet it's there, it's on the fingertips, like we are just not grasping it. And these toadstools are really representing like the growing something in the darkness, and that coming from our strength of being able to grow even when it's dark. Sorry, the cat is bumming the video. You can get bum off, Madge. Little Magic's butt this time. Okay, so in this final column, we have the Death card, New Beginnings. This is what we're in right now. We are in this energy of new beginnings. This card is a great card to have, because it is basically saying that you are willing to put in the work now to let go of things in order to move forward. The Death card can represent the kind of, finally cutting those last things from that previous chapter in order to move forward into a next chapter. This is how this is representing for me. I feel like it's this whole row of where we're at now is the realization of things, and that realization putting in that movement that we need. Oh, you can't go that way. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Taurus, you have cats interrupting this whole entire video. But interestingly, I've had cats come up for earth signs as a representation of kind of wisdom, and I guess I kind of feel like it can indicate putting yourself first, or that you are putting yourself first. With what I've said so far, I would say that this would represent it's time for you to put yourself first, and be a little bit more selfish within this. Because yeah, it's putting other people first, and that could be what's missing. That could be what you need in order to get to your next stage. Chopping that, I'll show you the Death card on this tarot. It's chopping that string in order to walk past where you've been, right? Letting go of the ties, the cord cuttings. Interesting. So if you do practice witchcraft, cord cutting could be beneficial. Or any kind of ceremony along those lines with your culture or your religion. Eight of Swords is our final card. So surrender. I feel like what really could be beneficial is surrendering to what you know. I feel like you don't need to see in order to get out of your situation. However, I feel like you can as well feel stuck in your situation. This is what we're on about, having a missing ingredient. She is binded in a kind of jail of swords around her. But if she wasn't blindfolded, she would know the way out. She would just, squeeze through these swords. She would just, she didn't have a blindfold on. She could see, she could use the blades to release her hands from these binds, and she could move forward. Now these swords as well are kind of symbolizing the stones on that standing stone. I feel like these are things that we have brought with us, that have got us, and that's what I feel here with this length of time. I feel like we are feeling stuck by what we've brought with us. It could be emotional ties, you care so much for somebody that you are stuck where you are because you don't want to move forward past that, because it could hurt somebody, or it could whatever is stopping you. It's kind of like, I feel like that's why these bits of wisdom, it's you differentiating what needs to come with you and what needs to be let go and what needs to be done, because on the other side of this wisdom are exactly what you need. There's your tools ahead of you, they're right in front of you. That's what you need. You do not need to be binded by the past that holds you in the spot where you are now. Interesting. There is a little bird sat on the top of this sword, and this feels like this is like the beacon of hope. This is the missing ingredient of something, and I definitely feel like perhaps we will have insight into what this missing ingredient is for us individually in your situations that you're going through. Because it's kind of like what's coming to me is like with Noah's Ark, when they've been traveling in this world of ocean for so long and they keep sending out the bird, right? And it comes up with nothing, and then finally this bird comes back with a twig, which shows that there is life on Earth again. And they follow the bird back to where it came from, and you know, they're on top of this mountain, it's life, and they can all begin to go back onto Earth as the waters are receding, right? This is kind of the indication of what it's giving me, that this bird will help lead you to the answers that you desire, that you need, that's going to shift you. But you have to acknowledge this bird first. You have to see it, because you are blindfolded in this moment by being stuck within these walls that you've built so far. I hope that makes sense for you, Taurus. I'm really loving this card. This reading even, sorry. I feel like it's been very insightful. So let me know what you think, Taurus. Again, make sure that I do put them symbologies down in this. I haven't done that before in the reading, but I feel like it's necessary and could be beneficial for many of you. So remind me if I don't. And I'll see you next month. Thanks so much, Taurus.